So my plan today is to build a sky base, and I plan on doing it in my desert village. I did make a house in an earlier episode, but I came up with this idea and I just feel like it is so much better. It's going to be so much cooler. So I did end up destroying it. And also I saw a comment on my video yesterday, which is actually a shore village, which honestly I never knew. I have not seen any videos on a shore village. So I think tomorrow I'm going to make my way over to a shore and try and find one and then start building that as well. Since no one has talked about it, I imagine it's not going to give us any new items, but what it will allow us to do is when an update comes out, most likely that is going to be a village that comes out with new buildings and stuff like that. So I definitely want to build one of those and get it to level 10 just so I'm ready whenever an update does come out. Also, I hope they end up adding like a backpack where we can have bigger backpacks, because that would also be super helpful. But I'm going to start building up. I don't really have a plan on the staircase, but I'm just going to start building up and see how far I should end up actually going. And once I do end up making my full staircase, I will add supports and everything like that. But as of right now, I'm not going to do that just because I want to get the whole base down. And I think if I turn this into a big square and end up going right here as well, it will make it the perfect height. I don't want to go too high. I'm not quite sure how high you can actually end up going. So I also do not want to obviously hit the build limit, because that would definitely suck. But I am going to just place down all of these and make it relatively high, just because I don't want it to be like just barely above the ground. And now I should be able to turn it the other direction, and once we make it up another 3 levels, then I will be able to start adding the foundation for the floor just like that, and then we can grab the stairs once again and start placing these down as well. But my plan for this is to make it a really big castle. So obviously the sand, you can make a sand castle. So that was my theory behind that, is making like a sand castle, which I think is going to be pretty cool. But honestly, I'm not sure. I'll have to see how it turns out. I'm going to make it one more higher, and now we can start placing down all of our floors. So we should have a pretty big area to end up building this. And yes, we are right on top of our original stairs, which is obviously what I wanted to do. Next thing I'm going to do is just add a floor all the way around this area that is my entire village, and then we will start putting up walls and then start putting in some custom buildings and make a super cool base. So I've officially put down the floor and all of the walls. So honestly, this looks pretty insane. And once I start adding buildings and everything in here, I feel like it's going to look even better. But the first thing we are going to add is the village square. So I have these arches, and I think I'm going to put one just like that. And then in the corners, I can end up putting, where is it? These statues. I think these statues will look pretty good next to it. And I do need to get a little bit of a taller arch. But I'm going to put the arch down, and then I will put the statues on each side and then kind of enclose it. And I think that will look pretty good. I'm going to put this probably like right there. And then we can get the statue wherever it is, right here, and then put it just like that. And I think this looks pretty cool. I will obviously have to add some walls and stuff, but I think I'm going to leave it open and not add a roof, because I think adding a roof will definitely make it feel more confined. So I do want to see, maybe I end up adding these over here just like this. And with both of those added, I think that looks pretty good. With the statues, I think the statues are so cool. Now that we added the statues, I did add these arches, and I think they look pretty cool as well, but I'm going to replicate it on the other side. I also have an idea where I'm going to place wooden floors all the way around, going to each different building, so it kind of acts like a pathway. But now that my area for my village square is done, I will be adding it later on. I do want to finish up all of my buildings in here, and the next thing I need to build is an area for all of my machines and stations. So I actually have an idea for this as well. What I plan on doing is, where is it? So Pleasant Park has these garages, which obviously I cannot use these prefabs on this flooring. I want to use that style and make a ton of them so I can put all of my different stations in those areas. So what I'm going to grab first is the garage door, wherever it is. It should be here somewhere. I am going to end up making 2 garage doors per, and I think I have to have a gap in them. So just like that. So one is going to be right there, and then I will add another little gap in between, and then I will end up placing that one right there. Just make sure it's in a straight line. It is. And then I'll place another one, and then I will end up making 3 of them, and I want to see how many is in between this. So 1, and then like half of 1. So I should be able to just go 1 and then like half of 1, so probably like right there if I had to guess. Hopefully that's, somewhat symmetrical. But now that our garage doors are down, I can start adding all of the walls, and I will be putting all of my machines in here. I think it's a really cool idea because they do open up, and then obviously if you don't want to see them, you can just close the doors. I do need to end up finding a couple walls, and I mean, I could use something like this, which honestly does not look too bad. It's going to be able to keep it pretty open, and I won't have to add too much lighting inside, but I think that will look pretty cool. I will have to end up doing it to every single one, and each one's gonna have a different thing, just like stone cutters, gem cutters over here, and then maybe all of like the wood and loom stuff over here, and then maybe all cooking and all that stuff is over here. But I don't know for sure. I will have to check that out later. But I also want to add a little area right in between, and that one's too short. I need to find the taller one, and there we go. We can end up placing that just like that, and then I am going to finish off the corners just like this. And oh my gosh, dude, this is going to be so sick. I can't believe I'm actually making a sky base. Like, this place is going to be awesome. But if you guys want to end up making one of these, you're gonna need a ton of granite. I've probably already used way over like 700 granite. So if you do want to make one of these, make sure you get a ton of granite. Or if you want to, you can make it out of wood. I just feel like granite is the best, especially because I am going to be going with the whole castle theme. For this next wall, I am just going to be using a normal wall. I think windows on one side will be fine. I don't need to do it on both sides. So I'm just going to place these down just like this. And then we can start adding a roof. I'm not too sure what I want to do for the roof, but I'm sure I will figure it out, and I think this will look super, super cool. I also need to start adding lighting already because it is dark, obviously, and it is just so dark up here. But once all the lighting is added and everything, it will look super, super cool. But I first want to finish up all of these garages, and then we can move on to making my main house, which I believe I'm going to put way over either in this corner or up against this wall, and I'm going to make a huge castle. For the roof, I'm going to be using this castle style of building, and I just feel like this is going to look the best compared to like all the other stuff, just because, you know, the other stuff, it's like an actual roof. It's all angled and everything, and I just don't think that will look the best. I'm going to add this roof on all of the garages. So there we go. All of our garages are complete, and oh my gosh, it looks so good. This place is coming together so well, and I think I'm going to add this roof onto my village square over there, but I will be doing that later just because I want to make my house now. I'm not too sure how I want to make my house yet. I don't know if I'm going to do something like this, or maybe if I just do something very similar to one of these, but make it obviously way, way bigger. And honestly, I don't have an idea on how I want to make it yet. I think I'm going to add a couple windows so it's pretty open, but other than that, I'm not too sure. So I think I'm just going to start placing some walls. I do need to find some exterior walls though. These are interior, and then exterior should be up here. So something like this, and I'll just end up placing it like that, and then I will leave a gap just so I can add a pillar, and then I think I'm going to make it, let's make it 4 wide. So there we go. That is 4 right there. And then we'll have a little bit of space in the back of the house just so we're not right up against the wall. But I think I'm going to go for something just like this, and I'm going to make it pretty big. I'm also going to be adding some windows around as well, but I obviously want to add some of these statues. These statues look so, so cool. But I think that statue is going to be where my door is going to go. So I feel like something like this is perfect. Like something just like that, and we can open the door into my house. Yeah, I'm gonna add that right there, and then I added another statue on the other side of the door just like that, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna break this one and end up adding a window right here, just because I feel like a flat wall just does not look the best. But what I also could end up doing is adding maybe some arches as well. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good right there. And now I'm just going to replicate it on the other side as well. So I need to go back to find my exterior walls, which are right here, and we'll end up placing them just like this, and then adding another window. Guys, this is going to look amazing, and I can't wait for it to be fully complete. But I wonder if maybe I should add a different window. Yeah, we'll end up adding a window just like that. So yeah, it is different, but I think it will look really good. I'm going to finish placing all of the walls for the bottom floor, and then we will start adding everything on the top floor, because this is going to be 2 stories, and this is just going to be absolutely amazing. So let me quickly place these, and then we will start adding our next thing. So all of my walls are down, and I actually added these wooden pieces in the corner. I feel like it just makes it look just a little bit better. So now it is time to add the stairs, and I think I'm just going to place them like right there. and we will actually be able to go up top and make our second floor. For the flooring for the upstairs, I think I'm going to end up doing something just like that. And oh my gosh, I fell. But it matches the stairs pretty well. And it matches the walls because it is the same color. So I think that's going to be the best thing I can actually end up doing. So with our floor fully on our second story, we can start adding the walls up here as well. The first thing I am going to add are these supports on the outside, so I don't have to try and like jump on the outside to try and place them. So just like that, I added all of the walls on the second floor, but now I think it's time to add a balcony. So what I am going to be doing is using the wooden open doors to add the balcony. I feel like those are the best just because they are so open, and they do look pretty good. And now with these doors, we can actually walk outside. So all I will have to do is add a little quick balcony, and I think I'm going to use the small floors, like these ones right here. I think these will probably look best. And I don't want the balcony to be too big, so I'm going to just place that like that. And is that good enough? I think this will be good enough. I don't want it to be a very big balcony, but I definitely want there to be one. So I'm going to end up placing it just like that. And I believe those are both even on each side. Yes, they are. Now I'm going to go around and place these guys around the outside as well, so I can end up putting the railing right here. And I feel like it will give us just enough space so we end up having a balcony, but we won't have to obviously have such a big balcony that it impedes on the build. So I think this will end up looking pretty good just like this. So we ended up adding the balcony, and if you ask me, I think it looks pretty good. I think that looks really, really good. I wonder if we can add some supports. I think supports are right here. I wonder if these will look halfway decent. So I can probably put these right in the corner just like that. And I mean, yeah, that looks pretty good in my opinion. So I'm going to add those in both corners. And yeah, this build is coming together pretty nicely. I will have to end up adding some lighting, so I'll have to go to my other village just to get the materials for that. But all we will have to do next is add a roof to this thing, and then we can start decorating the inside. And yeah, this is turning out so well. Look at our entire build so far. If we come in from over here, we have our machines over here that I will end up placing down. We have our village square over here, and then we have our massive mansion over here, which looks super, super cool as well. And just like that, guys, the roof is complete, but I also ended up grabbing some materials so I could make some lights around the village. And I think these ones right here will be the perfect ones to make. So I'm just going to place one like right there. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to place one on this side as well in the same spot just like that. And I think that looks pretty good over there. I will end up placing these lights on each corner of every building just like this. And I think it will light up the area pretty nicely. So I'm just going to place all of these down. So now that all of the lighting is down, I'm going to add all of the pathing to each one of our buildings so far, and I do need to end up placing something in this area right here, but I'm not sure what I want to do. And when I do place it, I want to make sure it's something I like, so I don't think I'm going to be doing anything there today, but I do want to end up adding some pathing. So here we go. I'm just going to add it just like this, and we will just make a nice little pathway to each area of our build. So I think right here should be pretty centered just like that. And I think this will make it look way, way better just because the normal floor that I have down, it's just not, I mean, it's not bad, but it just doesn't look the best, right? So it's definitely something that, you know, we just have to work with purely because there's not many options you can use to build a floor. But I think this is going to turn out pretty well because I already like the way it's coming along. So I'm just going to add a few more just like this, and then I will break it off going over here into one of our garages. And then we will end up making a pathway to all of our other garages. And there we go. We placed down all of the pathing, which I think it looks pretty good. I will also have to add something in this corner. I might make like a watchtower. That would be pretty cool in that corner. But now it is time to actually start building our inside of our main house, which, oh my gosh, this place is massive and it looks so cool. And I did end up adding a little area up top just so we can, like, you know, see over our entire village. But yeah, this is going to be so cool. So now it is time to start decorating. I'm going to end up adding a couple walls. I think I'm going to make a wall right here, leave this area, and then I'm not too sure what I'm going to end up doing up here. I'll have to just see what I come up with. So I sectioned off one area, and I think I'm going to make this like a library. So I'm going to add a ton of bookshelves and everything like that. So we do obviously need to get this right here. And oh my gosh, you can't put it you can't put it on the wall. Okay, that is super unfortunate. I can end up putting it on these walls, but none of the other walls. So I'm just going to end up putting one right there, one right there, and then we will do the same over here. And then on these back walls, I think I'm going to end up making like this right here. Okay, yeah, this is perfect. So I'm going to place one right there. I'll place like another one, maybe like right there. And then I will want to end up getting one of these. So I need to get some planks, but we will get that later. I want to place everything that I can. And honestly, I could even end up adding some other stuff. Maybe, oh my gosh, I'm starving. I got to eat the pizza. But I could also end up adding like a desk over here. And then I could end up adding a chair as well, just like that. And I can see what else I can add. I'm definitely going to add some carpet and things in here, but that's all at my other village. So I just want to get down all of the stuff I can. But I think the perfect lighting for a library is candles, just because I feel like it just looks so good. And then I can also end up placing... No, I think that's okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. That will give us enough lighting. But next thing we are going to add are some plants, just like this. And we can end up putting some on the desk. And oh my gosh, you can't put them on the desk. Why? Okay, we can put this one on the desk and we can put this one. I'm going to end up placing this one on the desk just like that. But I need to fill in this space a little bit more. I can end up adding some seating over here just like that. And then I will end up also maybe putting... Let's see. We can... Oh my gosh, we could put an... Oh, this chair is awesome. Okay, I'm going to end up putting this. Whoever the boss is of the library, you can sit right here and you can, you know, read your book. And then there's obviously all of these bookshelves with tons of books. We got a little desk so you can work as well. And yeah, I think this area turned out pretty good. But now we need to decorate this area over here. The next thing I'm going to end up adding is a little kitchen area over here. And I'm just going to make this whole back wall all counters. And then I will end up adding a sink and all of that stuff as well. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a middle area. And for sinks, we need some copper. Okay, that's also at my other village, but we will get everything from my other village so I can add it over here as well. But just imagine a sink right in here, and then we can even add like a little table right there. And okay, yeah, that looks pretty cool. And it even has a little pot so you can like make tea and whatnot. Oh my gosh, that is so freaking cool. The next thing we will also be adding is obviously chairs around this, just like this. And we're just going to add them on every single side. And then we can end up adding a couch as well in this area over here. So for sofas, I mean, these are not the most comfortable looking sofas, but I feel like it follows the aesthetic that we are going for so well. So I'm going to place that just like that. And honestly, I think it turned out pretty well. The next thing we will end up adding are some candles. So I'm going to place like a candle right there. And then we will end up placing some on this countertop as well, just like that. And then can I place some up here as well? Okay, and we put one on the table, which is pretty cool. And then we should also be looking for like wall candles as well. And we can put one right there and one right there. And yeah, okay, this place is coming together so nicely. There we go. Our sky base is fully complete. What I'm going to be doing off camera, just not to bore you guys, I'm going to be adding all of my machines into here. And then I'm also going to be going in there and adding some carpet, as well as moving my town square up here, just so all the villagers move up here. But guys, this actually looks so cool. I do need to add a couple items into here. If you guys have any ideas of what I should add right here, comment them down below, and I might pick your comment and build it in next episode. So yeah, but guys, look how crazy this place is. I also need to add some supports just in case if those stairs break, the entire village doesn't break. But guys, this place looks literally insane. Oh my gosh, yeah, this looks absolutely wild. And it was so much fun to build. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me on today's episode. If you guys want to see episodes every single day, make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, I appreciate you guys.